They say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us. All who oppose, all who oppose.
Welcome to Layla Undercover. I am your host, Alexis. We have a guest on the show, Eva.
Hi.
And we have our other bi-host, Nikki.
Hi.
Jamitra.
Hi.
And Robin.
Hello.
We're going to be talking about lesbians and bisexuals.
So, Eva.
Hi.
Hi. Since you're the guest on the show, of course, we're going to allow you to start. Tell us, how long have you been a lesbian, bi-curious, whatever you want to call it?
Okay, well, a little history. I dated men mostly growing up, so teens through 20s. I had my first girl experience in a threesome, and I did that in my 20s. And then when I turned 30, I had my first girlfriend, and then I never went back to girls. So for the past 11 years, I've only dated women.
And what made you change?
Oh, I just liked it more. I would think I was always attracted to women. But I never really had that type of a social circle where girls flirted with other girls. So it was just kind of like an undercover thing for me. And then once I was introduced to it, I was scared, tried it, loved it. And then I just enjoyed sex more with women than with men. So once I realized, and I'm better in a relationship with a woman than a man. So my relationships are healthier with women. So it was just a natural kind of progression from just casual sex to relationships.
Fascinating.
So why is sex better with a woman than with a man for you?
For me, there's more intimacy with women. There's like a closer connection. My relationships with women are more developed than with men. I guess because girlfriends tend to share everything. So it is like having sex with your best friend as opposed to a man that was like close to me but never my best friend. And women know what women like, so they tend to be a little more freer. And then there's this misconception that you're gonna miss a dick, but it doesn't really work that way because women can strap up. So you miss certain things. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's like 2 or 3 things I might miss about being with a man, but overall I enjoy women more.
Hey, Eva, I have a question. This is Nikki. In your current relationship, or if you're in a relationship, do you guys use strap-ons?
Yeah, in my current relationship, see, I've dated a lot of, well, not a lot of different type of girls, but I've dated feminine girls and straight girls and bi girls. So I've dated more of a tomboy. I've never dated a stud before, but the most, like, a tomboy is the most masculine girl that I've dated. So in that relationship, I couldn't wear a strap. But with like more feminine girls or bi girls or straight girls, like, I would strap up and I'll take it. Like, I have no problem with that. So in this current relationship, yeah, we use a strap.
It does feel different from
yeah, to me it's like if you have a sugar-free chocolate bar, like, it gets the craving. Is it exactly like a chocolate bar? No. When you're done, can you say you ate a chocolate bar? Yeah. So there's like a little bit of different feeling, but once you're in it, I mean, if that's
the job done,
you're looking for, it gets the job done. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the difference between a tomboy and a stud? I didn't know it was a difference.
Okay, so on the scale of lesbians, there's a femme, which would be me. I wear makeup, I wear bras. You know, I have nails. I'm like a complete girly girl. You'd never look at me and say, oh, she likes girls. So I'm like one extreme. After that, there is like a chapstick lesbian. So you won't really see her in makeup, but she'll have, she could wear like dresses or heels or whatnot, but she's not going to be like super feminine. Mm-hmm. And then after that, there would be more of like a tomboy. So a tomboy is going to be a girl that is gonna dress more masculine, not necessarily like a dude, but not feminine. Like you would never see her in dresses or anything, but she'll probably wear earrings maybe or something like that. So more like if you think of like a chick that plays softball or like a soccer player or something like that, she's more that kind of a range. And then usually like a tomboy will probably never have dated a dude or isn't into men at all. So that's usually where the line is. Like some chapstick lesbians, they probably dated men maybe in junior high or high school, and whenever they decided they liked women, they stopped. But a tomboy probably has never dated a dude. And then a stud to me is like that straight up shaves their head, like looks hard, like you feel like, is that a dude?
Like
And
Young
then-
M.A.
Like who?
Young M.A. Young Ma.
Okay, right. So that to me is, she's stud-ish. And then studs usually come with like their own set of rules. Like, you know, they don't, some of them have like no touch zones and
Right,
stuff
right.
like that. So that, you know, that kind of gives you an idea, I guess, of the range of from like super feminine to like super masculine.
That's dope.
I thought.
And then everybody kind of mixes in between, I guess, what they like. Like I would never date a stud. That's not my style. I usually tend to date pretty girls. I like feminine girls, but that doesn't mean that's all I've dated. But a stud I wouldn't be attracted to that type.
Me neither. I'm not attracted to
So-
studs. There are some cute studs out there, but
Yeah, I mean,
I'd
some
rather have,
cute.
yeah, I'd rather have a girly girl.
But I feel like if I'm gonna date somebody who wants to be a man, I'd just date
I
a man.
would exactly.
Like,
That's
I like
Yeah, I
women.
feel.
I like pussy. I like titties. Like I like all of that. And with studs, they tend to have more restrictions. Like they don't, you know, they might not want you to eat them out. That kind of
Yep.
stuff. So,
Mhm.
and if you like women like me, that's what you want to do.
Exactly.
So, it doesn't
I
really.
came across those before.
So that was one of my questions, because I was wondering why, if a woman wants to be with a stud, why wouldn't she just be with a guy? I mean, I could pretty much figure, you know, she likes vagina and stuff, but it seems like, is that the only reason? Because it's like a man with a vagina? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
I feel like, I don't know, that's hard to say. I mean, I think that women can be attracted to more than just your physicalness. I think that women fall in love with personalities
True.
and the way that they're treated. So, you know, you can say, like, I dated Tom, like more of a Tom girl, right? Or tomboy or whatever. But technically, that's not necessarily like my go-to, what I'm attracted to. But I think you fall in love with people's personalities and other factors that kind of come in. And then there's a lot of women that, you know, they like a woman, they just like a harder woman. So, you know, just like I like a feminine woman, I'm sure there are women who are attracted to that. They don't want a man, but they just want someone who makes them feel safe or maybe petite or vulnerable, because a lot of studs have that aggressive personality too. So I'm considered an aggressive femme because I'm quick to hit on a woman, right? But a lot of women aren't like that. So if you like to be submissive, then maybe like a stud would be something that you like, because you want the flowers, you want the door open for you, you want your bills paid, and they tend to take on male role. No, I mean, they tend to gravitate towards male kind of stereotypical roles. So if that's what you're looking for, then, you know, maybe that's what you're attracted to.
Okay.
I'm an aggressive femme, so I buy flowers, I pay for dinners, I do all of that too, right? But I mean, I don't know, I think it kind of balances out depending on what you're looking for.
But what I have been told why women gravitate towards stems or stud, because, you know, they've been in past relationship with guys and they done been hurt so many times and they want to try the other side, and they eventually love the other side and they don't want to go back. So, I mean, I have heard that from plenty of people.
I can understand that too.
I mean,
Yeah, I have a cousin that said the same thing. She had a bad experience when she was a child, and she was raped several times, and she just could not deal with the fact of having a male in her life. So she's currently married to a woman, but her woman is a stud. And I mean, she don't prefer the strap-ons and all that because of her experience, but she loves that woman, that strong, manly sense of a woman, but not the man himself rather.
I can see that too.
I got some questions. Can I watch
Oh God.
either? Is one question. And I've never been with a woman, but I like a lot of male things. So if I ever decide to be with a woman, would I be called one of them studs because I like male cologne? I wear male cologne. I like some of their clothes. I like their watches. So would I be counted as one of them?
No, I don't.
Mm-mm.
One cologne that I get the most compliments on is a man's cologne. So, I mean, I don't think that necessarily makes. I mean, I strap up and I'm not a stud at all. So, and I enjoy it. Like, I like to do it. So, I don't think that necessarily would constitute you being a stud. I think that you'd have to look really hard for that. Like, you have to have the appearance of that. You can't just wear like a man's watch or probably just be like, oh, she's cute. She's got like a dude's watch on. Like, you know.
Can I watch?
Oh, you want to watch me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Robin
Eva.
knows.
Demetria be want to watch everybody.
She want to watch everybody. She's a voyeur.
I'm a voyeur real bad. I'm eye curious to the fifth power. And like I watch it on porn, but I really rather see it in person. Like I just want to watch it because you sound so exciting.
Aw, that's sweet.
But you know what's funny, Demetria? I want to watch too, so I'm just sitting up here laughing at you like I'm a watcher too.
Live sex is better than lesbian porn. I can't even watch lesbian porn. I find it super boring and really fake. So even when I need to watch porn, I usually watch like masturbating porn or something. But lesbian porn doesn't do it for me at all. So once you're actually doing it, I think you can spot how fake the lesbian porn looks. Like,
Damn.
it's not.
See, we wouldn't know because we haven't had. Well,
Right.
Alexis would. Anyway, I have a question because you mentioned that you're aggressive and you would hit on another girl. So how do you know if another woman is lesbian or attracted to women as well? Do you not care? Do you get a little? Can you tell? But how do you know?
Okay, so this is kind of how it's been for me. Usually because nobody reads me as a lesbian until they get to know me, because I tend to be very sarcastic and very sexually aggressive, but very flirtatious. So usually I'll start with like little feelers to see, and you can tell, if someone like pushes you back or if they're like scared. Straight girls, as soon as they find out that you like girls, they're either scared that you're gonna like them or they're interested or like a little bit curious. So, I mean, you can read it after like almost 15 years of women. Like, I can pretty much read the signs if you're interested, curious, like girls who hold your eye contact or brush up, find ways to touch you, or, like those kinds of things. And you can kind of read how curious or how far into you that they are, especially after they know you like women. If women tend to be very touchy-feely anyways, but as soon as they find out that you like women, if they become extra touchy-feely, then it's like a good sign that they like you. If they find reasons to come up behind you, I've had women like sit on my lap and kiss my neck and play in my ears and my hair, and they're straight. So I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but
I think I'm a lesbian.
That's because you're an attractive woman.
I think I'm a lesbian after this conversation because I do everything that you just said.
Yeah, I'm very flirtatious too, and I don't think it matters if it's a woman or man. I don't know. I just like people, so I guess I'm listening to everything like, oh, okay.
I'm a flirtatious person too. Like, I'm a very touchy person. So, I mean, a friend touchy is a little bit different than I'm into you touchy for me. The touches are a little, harder, longer. So, I mean, if I like you, you're gonna feel it. Like, that's a little different than just a kiki, like, haha.
You done turned all of our hosts lesbian, Eva.
Yes, you done turned everybody on here lesbian. I like it. I like it.
I've turned out a couple of the people that I work with.
Okay, I have another question. I'm sorry, I have a lot of questions. So, when you first started, you were saying that there were 2 or 3 things that you miss about being with a guy. What are those 2 or 3 things you might miss?
So when I dated men, I'm like 5'6", like I weigh like 160. So I'm like a pretty big girl. So I like tall, like I used to date ballers, basketball players, football players. So they're all like 6'4". They had to be like 230. So I miss like the wall sex. I like aggressive sex. So I like men that can pick me up and toss me around. And I don't tend to get that with the women that I date because I don't want to date a girl who's 6'4". So that kind of thing that I miss, that's probably it, like that. And like, shower sex, morning sex, maybe. That morning wood. Women don't really wake up like that. So those are like a couple of things that I miss. Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much it, because all of my other needs are met. So I can't really say, it's not like I miss the dick or anything. But I think, I'm one of those random girls that would like the missionary position because I like the heaviness, like the weight on me. So I don't get that. It has more to do with size, I think. Size and aggression. Like men are more aggressive. I tend to be aggressive now, but it would be nice.
It's a lot of aggressive women out there too, because I get hit on all the time, and they are aggressive with it.
But you get hit on by studs, or you get hit on by feminine women that are aggressive?
Well, they're more studs, yeah.
Okay. But I'm not really attracted to studs, so.
Me neither. I mean, I will flirt with them, and I will have conversation with them, but I'll let them know I'm not attracted to studs. I like feminine women. I let them know off rip. We can talk, we can flirt, but I'd rather have a feminine woman.
Do lesbians have to worry about safe sex?
I mean, I think everybody should worry about safe sex. I think that lesbians, especially if they're in relationships with women that are sleeping with men, should absolutely worry about safe sex. I think lesbians who only sleep with women or in long relationships, I think they don't really practice safe sex as much. Like, I don't think there's as big of a scare about it until you're sleeping with multiple people and those people are sleeping with multiple people. When you take men out of the equation, sex feels safer, I think, even if it's not. But I think for women, it feels safer. So it probably isn't practiced as much as it probably should be. I mean, safe sex should be practiced in any kind of, I think, all relationships. But
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
You got a lot of questions.
Oh, because you mentioned a strap-on, and I love toys. Is there a specific kind, brand, or something, a specific one that you gravitate more to?
Okay, so I think that you have to find the strap that works best for you. I tend to not like the dong size straps. I like smaller straps just because, I don't know, it's just easier for me, maybe because I haven't slept with men in so long. I mean, I remember big dicks when I was in my 20s, but the bigger the dick wasn't necessarily like the better the sex for me. So when you see like straps that are like, 10 inches or whatever, I don't really tend to like, or like giant, like huge girth size straps. I mean, that's not it for me. So I think it takes a little bit of trial and error to see what you like to feel and like the different positions that you're going to use it in and how it feels. Because for me, like, they make some really nice like the material of it, it's like really, it feels really good. So
and it has to be lambskin, right? Because I heard a lot of women like lambskin.
I'm allergic to latex, so you give me a latex strap and it's going to ruin my whole entire life. So you have to know that going into, like, if she has an allergy or whatnot. I'm also a girl that does not believe in reusing straps. I think it's really nasty, and people are like, oh, but if you sleep with a guy, he uses the same dick. I'm like, straps are toys. Like when you get a new partner, you should get new toys. That's my version of it. But I know like a lot of women, if they find a strap they really like, then they just stick with it and ride it through whoever they date. But for me, I'm like, I'd rather just go to the store and buy a new one. Like, let's start fresh. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. Like, they have straps in different colors now. So if you're with a darker skinned girl, she might want a dark strap. If you're with me, then you're going to get more of a lighter strap. I mean, there's so many variations. Like, the toy stores are full of them. So it's really just personal preference and, like, the size that you feel good taking.
Wait. So your strap matches your complexion?
Yes.
You can get dark straps. You can get light straps.
I didn't know. I thought you just pick one, pink, green, whatever. I didn't know.
I mean, they come in skin colors, so you want to something. I mean, you know, because it's a toy, so you have fun with it if you like to fuck with the lights on and you like to look. And like a lot of girls want their straps sucked. So I mean, like if it looks like it's theirs, maybe that's a bit more of a turn on than a dark. Like if you have a dark skinned girl with a white strap, it's not the same illusion, right?
I mean, that definitely makes sense. I just never thought of that.
I know a lot of people that talks about they strap-ons and how it pleased them as well. Do you have that particular one that also give you that feeling?
I've heard of different straps, I guess, that I've never tried any of those. Okay, so when you're in the moment and it's like a sexually charged moment, there are lots of girls that can come from just strapping you. Like it's like the rubbing, because if you have the strap fitted well, it's gonna, when you're thrusting, it's gonna like rub against your clit. It's gonna rub against you. And I mean, it's a very sexually charged situation. So a lot of girls can come from just strapping you. I don't know about ones that have like little vibrators and stuff like in the strap to get you off. I think there's some like that, but I've never tried that.
Well, my friend, she's a full lesbian, and she tried the vibrating one, and she said that they burn out quickly, so she will never use those again.
You could make your own. Like you don't even need to buy one. Like you could just have, like, if you had a bullet, you could probably just sit the bullet in between the strap and yourself, and then all systems go.
I have a question, not related to straps. So, when you hear the term lesbian, that's the PC version. Is there other terms that may upset you or make you feel less than? Like if someone says dyke or butch or something like that, is there a term that you just like is off limits when it describes a lesbian?
The term that I don't like, you can call me a dyke, I don't care. I mean, I don't look like a butch, so that you probably would never call me that. I don't. Right. I mean, that could be offensive to somebody, I guess, who looks super masculine. Mm-hmm. I hate carpet muncher. Oh. You say that to me, I'm like it just grosses me out. Like I just don't like that. And then there was like a muff diver, like those kinds of things I don't really like. If you want to call me gay or a lesbian or a dyke or whatever, I'm fine with that. But some of the vulgar kind of terms, I don't know. I'm just like, do we need to go there? Like that's not really polite. That doesn't feel polite to me. Mm-hmm.
And it's not polite. It's offensive, actually.
Yeah, it feels offensive. Like, okay, like, and then especially I feel offended by women who say that, because I'm like, well, if you say something like that, like you're literally like disrespecting yourself. You have a pussy, so you calling me like a muff diver, like it's disrespectful. And I'm like, but that's what you have. Like you should respect yourself. So I don't really like that. And then men, I mean, whether they say it to be disrespectful or because they're jealous or because, I mean, men are funny with lesbians anyways. If they love you, if they think they can be a part of it, and they hate you if they think your girl wants you. So I mean, they have their own issues, I think, with women. So those are the terms that I don't really like.
Gotcha.
You was mentioning that you had a threesome. Did you have a threesome with two other women, or your man, another woman, and yourself, or how did it?
Well, the first threesome that I had was with my ex-boyfriend and his fiance. So that was the first threesome that I had.
What?
Yeah. That was the first girl experience I had, period. And it was his fiance who asked to have, I guess they had like the would you ever have a threesome kind of conversation. And she said that she would have a threesome, but she would have it with me. Then he came to me, but I thought he was lying because I'm like, your fiance wants us to sleep together? That sounds fake. And
Right.
so then she ended up talking with me. So that was the first experience that I had with a girl. And then the second threesome I had was with my girlfriend at the time, and we slept with a dude together. And then third threesome I had, that sounds horrible.
It sounds amazing.
Was 3 women. Yeah. So that was a lot going on.
Is it better with 3 women than having a man in the middle, or?
No, there's a lot of pussy. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's too much.
I don't need much. So no, I enjoyed the one with the men better than the 3 women.
Titties flying everywhere.
That's a lot of titties. That's a lot of work. That was too much. But in the moment it was fun.
All right. So when you're out with your girlfriend, do you still get dirty looks or slurs or discriminated against? And I know, like, we live in the South in Atlanta, some of us. So do you still get that nonsense?
Well, funny enough, because I'm Canadian, so I moved here 8 years ago. And in Canada, we're very gay friendly. So moving to the South was a different experience for me on a lot of different levels. I don't really notice people looking at me. I mean, I do live in Atlanta, so it's not necessarily like North Georgia or something like that. So I think a lot of people are pretty okay with it. I haven't received a lot of discrimination, but then I'm also like the feminine part of the equation. So most men, if they look at you, they like, oh, she likes girls. Like they don't discriminate against you. So I feel like the more feminine you are, the bigger pass you get for discrimination. I don't really feel like if I'm out by myself, I don't scream gay, so nobody really thinks that about me. And if I'm out with her, the more feminine your partner is, the more you just look like girlfriends, unless you're physically touching each other, right? So if me and you hang out, people don't think like, oh, they're lesbians unless they see me do something sexual towards you. So I mean, it really, to me, I haven't experienced it, but I know that it's out there because it is the South, and America as a whole seems more homophobic than Canada in general. Women, I think, get a little bit more of a pass than men, but I mean, I still feel like it's out there.
Yeah.
Just say, for instance, you have a drunk friend at a club, and because it's some of us that get drunk and get very friendly and touchy, right?
Me.
So if you have me too. But if you have a friend that is straight and she's been drinking and she's doing a little extra, do you get turned on by that, or do you just be like, hey, I know you're drinking? Do you put a stopper to it, or?
Well, if you're in a relationship, I'm going to head this off with saying you should put a stop to it. But no, if I'm attracted to the girl, then of course it turns me on, if she's drunk or not. Like, if I'm attracted to you and you start flirting with me, like, yeah, that's going to turn me on. So not fall down drunk, but a lot of girls, when they don't have the confidence to do it until they drink. I get more flirtatious when I'm drinking. So that's when I'll rub up on you or whatnot myself. So, I mean, yeah, if she's straight, if I like her and she had a couple of drinks and hits on me, absolutely, yeah, that's kind of...
Yeah, don't stop that, because you'll hurt her feelings. She'd be extra embarrassed, like, damn.
But my thing is, like, now I'm just thinking, do women all have a little lesbian in them? Because, like I said, it have been times where you're drunk, you feeling good, you're dancing and grinding with your friend. I mean, it don't never turn into nothing, but it happens. So I'm just thinking to myself, hey,
There's this cute saying that lesbians use, what women are like spaghetti, straight till you get them wet. And I think that that's kind of factual. Like, I feel like you might have been flirtatious when drunk with girls who are straight, so it's going to take it longer to get there. If you and I were out and you were a little drunk and flirtatious, I'm going to take it there with you, and then you're not going to be sitting here like, oh, I've never been with a girl. You're going to be like, yeah, it happened, da 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 da. So I feel like a lot of that is dependent on who you're drunk and flirtatious with and how gay they are. Two straight girls aren't going to get it like you throw one gay girl in the mix and all of a sudden your rub up is going to be a little different, if that makes sense.
That do. It makes sense.
How many girls you didn't turn to a bisexual / lesbian? You know a number?
I mean, I can say, okay, I don't know how many girls I've turned. I get hit on a lot by straight girls when they find out that I like girls, because I think I'm very, easy. Like, I'm non-threatening. If you're curious about it, I have a very soft personality. So, I don't know, I think it makes it easy for girls to
You're very open.
Yeah, and it's like, I was
and you're attractive.
With a girl, I was super scared. Like I was so scared because I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, so I feel like because I've been there, and if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you, that I was with men, that I didn't start sleeping with women until my 20s. So I mean, that's a lot of years of, just being with guys. So I know how it feels to like not know what to do or not know what she's gonna like or whatnot. And all girls are different too. Just because I've been with women for a long time, I mean, not everything works for everybody. So a new person is a new person regardless. The first time you have sex with somebody, it's not always earth shattering. There's a lot of like, oh, I think you need to find out what the person likes. And I think that's both with men and women. I don't think you necessarily hit it out the box the first time regardless. So, if you talk to me about sex and you're curious about it, I've been with my share of straight, curious girls.
You said something that made me think. Okay, so I think the only thing stopping me from being a lesbian is eating pussy, right?
You're scared of pussy.
I am. I'm afraid of pussy. I can't.
Scary. It's not a scary thing at all.
So that's what I'm trying to ask you. Like, how did you know? Like, I need to know how you just like went for it. Like, how did you your first time? Like,
it's funny because I remember the first time I sucked dick. Like, I was in high school and I didn't know what to do, so I just like full throttle like went for it, like balls out. And he was like, oh, that was the best dick sucking I ever had. And I was like, really? Because I didn't know what I was doing. I just like went for it. So by the time I was in my 20s, the first time I ever ate a woman out, and that was the threesome experience. And I was super nervous, and I told her, I'm like, I didn't know what to do. And she's like, just do to me what you like when someone eats you out. So I was like, okay. And she gave me a lot of good direction, like she was just very patient. Or I think that if you go in and the person is like silent, doesn't make any noise, you don't know if you're like going up, going down, faster, slower. But I think that when someone knows it's your first time, they're very helpful and directive and, oh, that feels good. And like a little faster or whatever. Like, you can talk to a person so that they are down there and they understand, what you like and what feels good. And then once the nerves are gone, like it's like anything else. Like, once you try it and you realize that it's not super scary, like I feel like Black women feel like, oh, it's going to be super gross or super scary, or, I think there's this whole umbrella over it, like that it's going to be a negative experience. And I think once you do it the first time and you realize it's not, like, it's okay. It's not any better or any worse than sucking dick. It's like the same thing, honestly. Like, you're just doing something to please the person. So
I promise you, it's not the same thing. But I understand what you're saying.
It's very, like,
It totally is, though. It totally is, because if you apply the same thing that you do to men, you apply it to women. It's totally the same thing.
like, somebody had asked me, and I think it was you that asked me, like, the difference between having sex with a man and having sex with a woman. And I was like, it's like a beach vacation versus a city vacation. Like, when you're going on a city vacation and you get to see you do a lot of, like, sightseeing, and you go to all the buildings and everything. It's a great vacation. You had a wonderful time. You went to Paris. You know, did all of this stuff. Or you can have a beach vacation and lay around on the beach all day, and it's just as good, and it's just as relaxing, and it's just a great vacation. It's just a little bit different. That's all. And it really, I mean, sex is about the connection that you have with the person. So, I've sucked a dick. It's not the greatest experience. That doesn't get me off. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, oh, wow, that felt amazing for me. I mean, it didn't. I've eaten a woman out. I mean, it's them coming that excites you, right? It's you pleasing them that is exciting to you. So, I mean, that's the same thing for a man or a woman.
Perfect. Perfect analogy. Perfect answer. Awesome. Any other questions, ladies?
No, it was nice to meet Eva.
Oh, it was wonderful. Thank you for having me. It was so much fun.
That was fun.
My little opinion, and it's just my little opinion.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Layla Undercover. Thank you to all of our hosts. And thank you, Eva, for being our very special guest tonight. Make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you tell all your lesbian friends, your straight friends, your family, not your grandma, maybe. You know, tell your grandma too, to listen to Layla Undercover.
Might be a lesbian.
My grandma might know some things. Make sure you tell her to tune in to Layla Undercover right here at blackblossomproductions.com. You can go to YouTube and subscribe. You can see us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere, all over social media. So make sure you like us, follow us, subscribe. Have a good night, everyone.
And they say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us. All who oppose